From Pierre Poilievre, Prime Minister Carney is recognizing the Hamas state in another effort to distract from his record of rampant crime, costs, debt, immigration, and job loss. I think it also goes along with his leftist, oppressor narrative ideology as well. Now, there were supposed to be some conditions for this from Mark Carney. What were those conditions? Let's see. Let's hear. What did he say? This was August 1st.
For the reasons I cited earlier, Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025. This intention is predicated on the Palestinian Authority's commitment to much-needed reforms, including commitments by the Palestinian Authority's President Abbas to fundamentally reform its governance, to hold general elections in 2026 in which Hamas can play no part, and to demilitarize the Palestinian state. Canada will increase its efforts in supporting strong democratic governance in Palestine and the contributions of its people to a more peaceful.
So none of that happened. None of that happened. But he's still doing it anyway. Huh. Weird. It's almost like he has no principles. Let's see. Ezra Levant from Rebel News posted this. You said you wouldn't recognize Palestine unless it met certain conditions because otherwise you would be rewarding terrorism. You said Palestine needed to become a democracy and have an election next year. You said Hamas could play no part in Palestine. You said Palestine had to demilitarize. You said Hamas must immediately release all hostages. None of those things happened, and yet you rewarded terrorists with recognition. You've not just sold out Israel, you've sold out Canada and Canadian values. So what, I guess he thinks that Hamas values are Canadian values, right? Mark Carney, today Canada recognizes the state of Palestine. He just couldn't wait. I'm just excited about this. Christmas comes early for Mark Carney. Canada recognizes the state of Palestine. If you think any of these hate laws are going to apply to the people waving terrorist flags, chanting genocidal chants and slogans and screaming death to Canada, death to Israel, death to the USA, yeah, think again. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. It will be like everything with the Liberals. It will be arbitrarily applied against people he doesn't like or CBC doesn't like. State of Canada. It's all so predictable. It's not, none of it's surprising anymore. There's no bottom, right, to this, to the abyss. I just want to go back to the new Liberal bill that's been introduced, first reading in Parliament. And let's see where their priorities are in here. So talking about hate symbols. There's only one that they specifically put in here, which is the swastika. The swastika. That's it. It's something that is just basically non-existent in Canada. There's no Nazis in Canada. There's no Nazi movement in Canada. There are mobs on the streets with Hamas flags, terrorist flags. You see like ISIS flags, for God's sakes. Right? You hear chants, death to Israel all the time, death to Canada, death to USA. But they put this one in there, this totally irrelevant symbol to what's happening right now, right? Like, I have a hard time believing that if you're Jewish in Montreal, you're worried about neo-Nazis, right? They're not the ones to be worried about right now. Right? If all of a sudden you see a Hamas flag through your neighborhood or just a Palestinian flag, a mob with those flags walking through your neighborhood, which is something that they're doing, that's going to make you nervous because that's an immediate threat that's real, that everybody can see. I know the CBC, CTV, Global doesn't like reporting on it because I guess it's bad for business. It's bad for liberal business. But why not have that specifically in there? Because that's the threat right now. That's the real, tangible threat. It's real, right? Why not have that in there? Well, we know why. We know why, because they don't have any, they're not worried about that. Those are people that the Liberals feel they can count on to vote for them. And that's why. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.